Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Lee Honish, Andrew Labouche, Miguel Antonio Barragan. Pick an order. Any order. That's how important they are. Our producer, Sam Navajero, is in Australia, quietly awaiting Tim Zoo's return to the ring to vanquish his Australian foe, Crocodile Dundee. Whatever. While you're in Australia, please visit Sam's Gelato at the Queensberry of Marcus Queensberry Market. And please ask for the Jizz Gelato. He has promised a free bucket or vat of gelato to anybody who mentions Fight Net Radio. Who knows what it'll taste like. With that said, this show is about boxing. If it's your first time listening, I got a note from our producer who said this show is for the casual fan, to which I say, nay, nay. This is not for the casual fan or you won't get the jokes. So, here's how it is. Andrew and Miguel consider themselves actual journalists. I, on the other hand, consider myself a disgruntled fan. And thus, you have Fight Net Radio. It is a weekly show. Please click, like, subscribe, visit our page on Facebook at fight.net.radio, or visit our website, fightnetradio.media. We would love to see you on the website. With all of that said, the first thing we do in every show that we do is go once around the horn. We start with Andrew Labouche, who's tearing out a wall for his daughter's birthday, which I don't understand the remodeling. When you walked away, I'm racking my brains. Are you putting a bounce house in the house? Or, are you just getting ready for people to come over?
Getting ready. A lot of things got to happen. So, yeah, it's going to be a process. I got 12 days, so I keep telling myself. I got 12 days.
Does it line up with a fight or anything for the guys to watch while they're drinking beer? I mean,
I don't know. I was hoping the final leg of the Triple Crown was going to be that Saturday, to be honest with you. But I think it's this Saturday.
Might be.
I'll have to look into that.
Well, there you go. That's Andrew Labouche. He's the father of multiple children and way too hot a wife for his pay grade. That means we're joined by Miguel Antonio Barragan. Yes, to all those who know his wife. Yes, that was a compliment. Yet again. I don't know why I get such a bad rap. Sorry. I seem to be squeezing those in more often than lately to try to get on her good side. Back through people that listen to the show. Miguel Antonio Barragan is our representative in lovely Las Vegas. There's at least 3 football games I want to go to in Vegas this year with the Raiders. Miguel, how are you doing? Oh, no, 2 football games and 1 boxing match. And we'll talk about that shortly. How are things in Vegas?
Not too bad. I spent my weekend outside of Vegas. I actually traveled to Southern California. So didn't really spend the weekend here at home. But a buddy of mine who's in the military is going to be moving to North Carolina. So he currently lives in Rancho Cucamonga and in San Bernardino. So I ran to spend the weekend with him real quick before he moves far away. I'm sure I'll pay him a visit at some point. But that means I did spend my entire weekend in Rancho Cucamonga and not in Vegas.
Rancho Cucamonga is the dullest city in America.
Yeah,
having lived in that area for a great portion of my life, you can see the Ontario Quakes. Ooh.
Well, we did a lot of hiking, So
yeah, that's what you do in Ontario. That's really, I mean, if there's nothing over at the arena or the Quakes aren't playing, there is nothing going on in Ontario. But good to know. Glad you made it back safely from Ontario. They tend to keep people there for whatever reason. My name's Lee Honish. This is generally where I say something cute and quippy. And I don't really have cute or quippy today because we're going to start right into the deep end of the swimming pool. This show rewinds from the previous week, and we start where we left off. And this is where we left off. Arbitration judge orders a 3rd fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. If you follow this show, you will know that on a weekly basis, we carried about 4 stories a week about Tyson Fury fighting Anthony Joshua. Well, I don't know if Bob pushed it through. I don't know if somebody pushed it through, but I don't know how it worked. They're now fighting. And crazier still, as a side note, I'm sure it'll come up, but let's cover it right now. They're talking Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua. So let's start with this fight that they can't get to be pushed out of the way. Apparently, I'll start with you this time, Miguel. Apparently, Deontay Wilder's excited to have his ass beat again by Tyson Fury. What was your reaction to the news and or the subsequent future loss for, his career?
Well, I mean, definitely a bad idea right off the bat. I mean, we saw what happened in that second fight. I don't anticipate any different in the third fight. Yes, he does have that great equalizer, right? He has that power, that right hand that dropped Fury a couple of times, but it didn't keep him down. So, we expected some sort of comeback fight from Wilder, something that kind of regained his confidence, somebody he can knock out, someone like Andy Ruiz, which is kind of the rumor.
Which is what he talked about repeatedly.
Yeah, or anybody else, or even Adam, that Kalinowski dude, or some other PBC heavyweight that he can, whoop just to get himself some confidence and get himself back into the ring and just get back into the swing of things. But no, he's going for that trilogy fight, which, I mean, 2 losses in a row as a heavyweight. Let's say for the sake of argument, he ends up losing, which is most likely what's going to end up happening. 2 losses in a row, is going to be able to recover for that. That'll bring him down to like barely $1 million fighter. Yeah, it's a bad idea.
Andrew Labouche. Reaction to Deontay Wilder's future decapitation.
Rumor in the boxing world, they tried to let negotiations get far with the AJ Fury to then come in with the arbitration, win it, and get step-aside money.
Funny you should say that, because I'll throw it in as a side note right here. Warren announced that they're trying to get it under $20 million to get him to step aside.
When Bob Arum and Tyson Fury hear about how much they want, they laugh and say, we'll kick his ass instead. Look, it's an easy
pay.
Fury technically has beaten the shit out of Deontay Wilder in 2 fights, right? The only thing that gives Deontay Wilder a chance is the right hand. We've seen it twice in the first fight. We didn't see it at all in the second. Nothing changes in the third. He's going to get his ass kicked again, and he has a right hand, and we'll be saying until he's done getting beat up, whether it's the 12th round ringing or the ref quitting, it's going to be, he has that right hand. Watch out, he has that right hand. So we already know this fight might be Deontay's career, but as of right now, this is the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight. This is it. He has a right hand. Tyson Fury beats his ass for almost all the rounds in the fight. So, the Raiders Stadium comes into play here. We talked about that. Listen, this is a blessing for boxing. I think it's a blessing for the casinos. I don't know how much the casinos are mad about them not actually getting the live gates anymore, because the MGM used to do pretty good on those live gates. That 17, I believe the record that Fury and Wilder had, didn't that take place at the MGM, you guys?
Yes, actually, because the first time was in Los Angeles, the second time was here in Vegas.
Yeah, at the MGM. So that's a live gate they don't get anymore. They get the fans. They get more fans, too, because you guys got to believe, Vegas used to get packed when we knew that there was only 14,000, 15,000. I think the Thomas and Mack at one time would do about 21 if they did the seating right. That was like the big one. Thomas and Mack back in the day was the one that packed the house if they could. Now they've got 72,000 seats, and they've got closed circuit. No, live. It's going to be out there in Vegas now. And a matter of fact, hopefully closed circuit tickets don't go up anymore. They actually level out now because of that 72,000 seat venue.
Yeah. Everybody can go and watch it on a giant
capacity
screen
at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as of June 1st, they should be able to do full capacity again. They're at 100% as of June 1st. So, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they're ready. No, they're opening. Everything's opening up. I mean, I was at the bowling alley this weekend. There was no one wearing masks.
COVID's over. COVID's over.
It disappeared.
Yeah. That's what it seems like.
Okay, well, let's do the follow-up story right here, which is
Cowboy team tested positive for COVID.
no, but a good one.
Did you hear about that though?
The what?
Yeah, which professional sports team? They had like 8 positive tests. I think it was the Cowboys. Someone had like 8 positive tests and they were all vaccinated.
Which takes us to the follow-up story about this particular story, and we'll go to this next, which is Joshua Usyk. All right, so if we can't do step-aside money, right? Let's get real. Anthony Joshua is going to be forced into fighting Alexander Usyk. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I like Alexander Usyk against Anthony Joshua. Because that would be a boxing match, and Usyk's a better boxer, and that would be bad news for Anthony Joshua to hold on to the belts. So I start with you this time, Andrew. If we go the route of Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua will be forced or stripped of his WBO title, which he won't, to fight Alexander Usyk. How do you like that fight?
I wish there was more evidence on Usyk as a heavyweight, but I got to agree with you. Technically, Usyk is better than Joshua. I mean, fuck, Lee, Andy Ruiz technically might be better than Anthony Joshua. So it's a scary fight. You know, it's going to suck, you guys. They had to build up to this thing. The UK was ready to fucking explode, man. This thing was huge. It's about to be big, and this can all get derailed if Usyk, shows up and outboxes the guy for 12 rounds. I mean, Joshua's not going to be able just to hit and hold Usyk, right? Usyk's a little too skilled for that. He knows how to hit and actually fucking move around himself. So it's a tough fight. It's one that if I was Eddie Hearn, I probably wouldn't want Anthony Joshua win. Too much on the line here. Way too much money on the line. Usyk, Lee, I know you like Usyk as a fighter, but this does nothing for Joshua's resume. He's a cruiserweight moving up. He's a small heavyweight. He's known in the boxing world, diehards, not a crossover star at all. If I'm Eddie Hearn, I avoid this dude as much as I can and act like right now that Usyk does not exist.
Miguel Antonio Barragan.
Yes, I second and I third that. If we don't see the Joshua of before the rematch with Ruiz, I mean, if we see the one that we saw with Ruiz, no, he actually will lose. Like, Usyk is too slick of a boxer, too fundamentally sound to lose to someone like Joshua, on top of the fact that he's naturally smaller, so he's going to be probably even quicker, and on top of the fact that he's a southpaw. Like, there's too many variables that are just like, oh shit, this is like, I'm sure he's going to be the underdog, right? Understandably so, but he's like a live underdog. We're not too concerned with Fury and Wilder. We're pretty confident that Fury is going to come away with the victory there. If this one goes down, shit, I'm going to be biting my nails, because this is like the monkey wrench of all monkey wrenches with Usyk.
All right, so
and right now, until Anthony Joshua proves himself again, it's almost anybody he's in the ring with. Joshua looked terrible in his defeat to Andy Ruiz. One fight doesn't get him away from that. So, yeah, they're in a real tough situation with Joshua in this fight falling apart.
So here's the question before we move forward. What do you think the final outcome of all this is going to be? Andrew Labuschagne.
Well, it looks like the outcome it's already signed. They signed the fight on Saturday on ESPN. Tyson Fury did. Deontay Wilder's name was already on it. July 24th, you guys. Do I have that date right? I mean, the fucking date is right. Listen, we talked about this. Bob Arum came on our show. Remember, Miguel? Me and you said AJ and Fury. And Bob Arum came on this fucking show and goes, the fight's already signed. Son of a bitch. And here we are. The fight's signed. They already have a date. They already have the venue. Like, it's real hard to think that Eddie Hearn and Joshua didn't know this a month ago that this was going to happen.
They did.
Yeah, I mean, it's good promotion for their fight that could possibly take place at the end of the year if everything goes right. But that Usyk card, that's a real dangerous card, and really. Yeah, I don't know who they. Joshua needs to. Yeah, he's got to really pick his next opponent. Be very careful on who he chooses because
he's got to get to the pot of gold.
There is $150 million on the line if he loses that fight.
Miguel Antonio Barragan.
I mean, we already know that Fury and Wilder is going to go down, so that's a certainty on that end. I would not be surprised if they try to avoid. AJ and his crew do what they can to avoid this fight with Usyk. Some sort of step aside money or something just so they can, because the WBO came out right threatening to strip him AJ of the belt if he doesn't fight Usyk, right? Well, that obviously went to shit because we knew that wasn't going to happen anyway. Hopefully that still stands and they don't plan on actually making this fight. I would not be surprised if Hearn and AJ figure out a way around this to just basically sit on the sidelines and wait because they know how much of a risk this is.
If I'm Usyk, I stay in my home country. Don't go anywhere near Eddie Hearn. Don't go anywhere near who's that MTK Lee that you always say is connected.
Stay MTK, #MTK.
There could be a false accusation coming out soon on Usyk if he's anywhere near those dudes. Everybody just stay home, man. Stay home.
Play it safe.
Don't mess with the MTK. All right, let's get into the core of our stories here. Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, as he's lovingly referred to, on being booted by Canelo. That's some coward shit. I just want to get to the quotes where I gave him respect. Canelo, good job. Now we have to make it happen. He's a coward. A coward. That's some coward shit. You can't give people the opportunity to a fight about money or not about money. Give people the opportunity to make a name for themselves, but I can't do that. That's cowardly. All right. So apparently Boo Boo, who's fought nobody. I'm trying to make Boo Boo work with nobody. It doesn't really go. No Boo Boo. Boo boo.
No boo boo body. No boo boo body.
No body.
There you go.
Body boo boo. All right, let's no body boo boo. I don't know why I find that so funny. Boo Boo feels disrespected that Canelo's looking right past him. So I'll start with you this time, Miguel. Does Boo Boo deserve a shot at Canelo?
Deserve? I mean, at this point, who really deserves it? I mean, number one, no, he didn't give Canelo respect. Fuck that. Fuck out of here. He damn near got in an on-air argument with Chris Mannix about, everybody Canelo has faced, basically. And he went on air talking about how he hasn't faced anybody himself. I mean, talking about Canelo. So it's like, no. And then you crashed the post-fight press conference. So number one, don't give me that shit about giving him respect because you weren't doing that. Now, do I necessarily disagree with that? No. Crash the fucking press conference. Go ahead and get yourself the title shot however the hell you can get it. But don't give me this bullshit about, like, oh, I gave him respect. So now can we have, like, no, motherfucker, you didn't. Quit lying. But do I say he deserves it? Again, I don't know. I mean, this last opponent that he had, it didn't look like he was going his direction. He was running out of gas towards the latter half of that fight. I mean, if he's going to go out there and basically like put everything, we're going to use the Jaime Munguia analogy here. Like, all right, who knows how much longer he's going to hold on to that fucking belt. Might as well just go ahead and put the money down, give me that Canelo fight, and I'll walk away, walk into the sunset, even if I fucking lose the belt or the fight. So I wouldn't mind seeing it, but to say he deserves it, I don't
know. Okay. So, Andrew, what do you think about Boo Boo's body on his Boo Boo, on his nobody body?
I don't think he showed respect. I don't mind that he didn't either. Does he deserve the fight? It's a tough question because Andrade's followed Canelo around for what is this, 2 divisions now? Junior middleweight. Now Canelo's at super middleweight, and Andrade's in his press conference still asking, why the fight hasn't got made, I have no idea. I'm not behind the scenes. Look, we know Andrade doesn't fight a lot of named fighters, but damn it, none of Canelo's last 4 opponents have named fighters. This shit, they're all champs. Andrade's a champ too. He's been a champ in 2 divisions. He's undefeated. I think he deserves as much of a shot as Canelo's last 4 opponents, to be honest with you. When you talk about name recognition, none of those guys had it. Yildirim, Fielding, Smith, none of them have that name carry any weight here in America. He fought them all. They all made millions. So why can't Andrade? I did not like how Saul Alvarez blew Andrade off at the press conference, and the only reason why is they both work for DAZN. They both, they're under basically the same umbrella right now. He should have at least played the game with him, but the way he kind of like, you're no one, get the fuck out of here, and it was just the guy's undefeated and he's a 2-time world champ, dude. Like, what do you mean you're fighting dudes that are fucking nobodies already? What do you mean this guy's a nobody? He's not a nobody. He's a WBO champ in 2 divisions and he's undefeated. So I guess my answer is he deserves just as much a shot as Yildirim, Fielding, and Smith.
There you go. Everybody happy with that? Everybody think we gave enough time to Boo, who's been speaking? Dave Benavidez. Plant is a fucking pussy. He is going to get knocked out by Canelo. Well, the first person to weigh in on the Caleb Plant Canelo story, because we'll hear from Caleb Plant shortly, is Benavidez, who says that he fully expects Canelo to fuck him up. So here's my question, only because it's funny in the way the story is written. Start with you, Miguel. Is Caleb Plant a fucking pussy?
Well, I'm not one to call a professional boxer a fucking pussy, but I mean, it is Benavidez saying it from his mouth. Before I get to that, I just want to know why the hell don't they put a picture of Benavidez here? It's like, I get that this is about, Plant and Canelo, but come on, can we put a picture of the person actually being quoted? The fact, I'm sure we'll get to that later on. There might be another story about this with how much Plant is asking, but come the fuck on, dude. Don't go that route. I might have to agree with Benavidez here. When he had the chance, he didn't take it, and now when the chance is possibly coming up again, he's kind of outpriced himself a bit. Come on now, it's just starting to look like pussy type shit right here.
Yeah. Andrew, do you think the Caleb Plant is a fucking pussy?
No, I wouldn't. I'm not going to say that about no boxer. No. That's Benavidez talking that smack, and he. Matter of fact, hey, listen. If he wants to get in the ring with Plant, that's an awesome fight. That fight should have happened a year ago or so already. These two have been undefeated champions in the same division. It's a shame that Al Heyman never got these 2 guys together. It would have made the winner made this fight bigger. If them 2 would have faced off and unified titles. They didn't, and now it's going to cost them millions of dollars when they actually do face Saul Alvarez. Lee, can I jump stories?
Yeah, sure. Which one?
If I'm Eddie Hearn, if I'm Matchroom, I actually lower my price that I offered Caleb Plant. The son of a bitch comes out with $10 million. $10 million.
Yeah, we've got that story. Well, you just burned right through that story. Wants $10 million. Not only does he want $10 million, hold on. It actually gets slightly more amusing than that. Before the $10 million came out, so here you go. Get this story up first. Plant warns Canelo, listen, I possess a lot of the same athleticism and boxing IQ. I've met him up close and personal, spent time, broke bread with him. Mm-hmm. So Miguel and I both did, 3 feet away, spent good few hours with him. Number one, he does not possess any IQ whatsoever. Number two, he already seems to me like he's got stress disorder from too many blows to the head. He doesn't answer a lot of complex questions. Lastly, he's not even a quarter of the fighter of Canelo, in my humble opinion. So let's start right there before we go to the follow-up to that story. Miguel, is he at least 25% of the fighter of Canelo?
25%. I think you kind of lowballed him. I think he's a little bit higher than that. Damn. You know what? I think
That's a good number. That's a good over-under.
That's good. I don't know. I'm gonna say closer to the 40-45 range. I'll say percent. That's I feel the size, the reach, all that comes into play on top of the ability that he has. I'm gonna say roughly 40-45. I'll say.
Would he go the distance?
Shit. I do not think so. No, I think it'll be another late fight stop or late round stoppage.
Andrew Labouche, is he 25% the fighter of Canelo as I pose, and/or can he go the distance? We all know he's going to lose.
I've got to lean towards the 25%. Listen, and I'm going to go off of the Billy Joe project, you guys. Going into that fight, there was a lot of people in the boxing world, us three too. Everyone was giving Billy Joe credit for being a boxer with the butt attached to it. The opposition that he's facing was not that of the level of Saul Alvarez. And the same story is going to get told with Caleb here, who believes he has the IQ of some of the greatest fighters of his era, yet never faced any of them, never came close to facing any of their opposition.
He's got 12 knockouts, Andrew. Show some respect for the middleweight champion of the world.
It's an absurd statement. He did it before when he goes, "Oh, Canelo's 1-3 against those guys." The point is, Canelo has the experience of facing those legends. You have none yet. It's so hard to listen to Caleb and think that he's serious on the shit that he's saying. But here we are talking about this fight. Caleb Plant keeps his hands down. He throws a jab from the hip. He does a lot of bow and arrow punches. No, man, he could go in there and Canelo could figure him out in fucking 9 minutes, and this fight will be over all over again. Because you know what? Billy Joe lasted, 8 rounds? Yep. But that fight was over in round 3, you guys. Saul Alvarez knew how to beat him. He knew the guy wasn't going to do anything but bend the fuck over. It was batting practice at that time. That fight was not as close as fans like to say that it was. I thought he figured him out quick. That could happen here. Caleb just has never been in the ring with anyone like Saul Alvarez, so don't get surprised if the moment's too big for him too.
Or even close.
Hold on, Andrew didn't do his catchphrase. Don't get it twisted. There you go.
Yeah, there you
go. All right. Here's my follow-up question for this story before we talk about Caleb Plant's big payday for giving up his title. Is he just another dumb white guy with a title? First you, Miguel.
No. Primarily because if you remember, Lee, when we did have that brunch with him, he seemed rather, bland in his personality. Really didn't have much of a mouth on him. He just kind of, he stood his ground, right? He answered our questions the best he could. But
so
now
that he honestly believes he's got that skill.
No, I don't think he does. No. But now, listen to him now, right? He's talking a little bit more smack. He's starting to get a little bit more out there. He understood what was going on at that table when people were like, all right, this is a little plain. This is a little bland. Like, there's no spice to this conversations or these interviews, and then Steve Kim asking like the hard, legitimate questions, right? And it was just like, all right, well, I'm not really getting the sense that there's like some sort of spice to this guy, like something, an edge to him, right? Kind of like that little bit of mean streak that we see from Crawford every so often. Like now seeing his, I don't mind that, and I'm kind of liking it, to be honest. So is he a dumb?
Was really drunk, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
By the way, for anybody wondering, that's Steve Kim, famous boxing writer, who was Hammerface.
He was pretty hammerfaced, yes. But I don't think he's just another dumb white dude, because now he's talking the smack that we like to see, right? And he has the belt as leverage. So no, I have to say no. He's certainly not another dumb white dude with a belt.
Andrew, is he a dumb white guy with a belt?
Well, we're gonna see when the negotiations are done for the fight. But look at it. I don't think it was smart to give I want 10 million. Listen, I could have swore they only offered him 5 million.
Well, that takes us to our follow-up story. He wants 10.
No, I know, but I thought they only offered him 5. when the fight first got offered to him last year.
Well, okay, here's why it's logical.
I drop $1 million off my next offer.
He's gonna get this.
Lee, there's no negotiating when you're fighting Saul Alvarez. There's no. Did you think people went in there and negotiated with fucking Mike Tyson or Oscar De La Hoya or any of these other Floyd Mayweather? You think anyone? Hey, you're gonna give me fight? You think Robert Guerrero and Victor Ortiz and these guys walked in and go, hey, I don't want 5, I want 10. I want 10 million. Get the fuck out, bro. Listen, if he was serious about that, it's not the smartest move. So I don't know what you want to call him, but that to me, if I'm Eddie Hearn, I drop $1 million off of the offer and I tell him he does that shit again, that it's totally off the fucking table. We're not even working with him. He is a nobody until Saul Alvarez tells him he's a somebody. That's how this game is played. Who the fuck is Caleb Plant going to make $10 million with if he don't have Saul Alvarez on the other side? $5 million with if he doesn't have Saul Alvarez on the other side. Please, know your role in this world, man. I drop $1 million off the offer I gave him the first time.
Oh, wow. All right, Miguel, last follow-up question. His 10 million seems to be in line. Kovalev got 12, Jacobs got 12, Saunders got 8, Callum Smith got 6, Anthony Yildirim got 2.5, but then again, he went back to washing dishes. How do you feel? 10 million too big?
Absolutely, dude. If the number one super middleweight in the world, fucking Callum Smith, got 6, for Christ's sakes, come on now. Like, maybe that if you want to be generous, call it 7 and call it the best payday of his fucking life, because that's exactly what it is. But hell, fucking no, 10. Come on, 100% on what Andrew's saying. How the hell, dude, if you want to negotiate, the best you can do is negotiate, like, what the fuck, like, what gloves they're going to wear. The very least, that's the only rights he's going to have, dude. To be, like, asking for that kind of money.
Size of the ring?
Like, yeah, the size of the ring. What shoes I'm going to be wearing? Like, can I ask for these shoes at the very least? Like, you should be humble as fuck, not be asking 10 million. Come on now.
This is going to change his life. Yeah. Right? Not only is he going to make the most money he's ever made in his career, this fight could change everything. Even if he doesn't win, he looks good. It makes him more money in his next fight. And to act like this, like I said, it doesn't make, it's not the smartest move, man.
All right, we'll I go back to it. Is it a dumb white guy with a belt, Andrew?
Hey, I'm only going to say yes if Eddie Hearn and them end up walking on them for not taking, they just can't come to an agreement on money. It won't be the first time an Al Heyman fighter can't agree on money. So let's not, act like this would be a shocking surprise if they couldn't come to an agreement. But yeah, then he's absolutely he's a puppet. He's a dumb white guy with the belt. I don't like to say that, but yeah, he wouldn't look smartly.
Miguel, do you want to change your answer?
No, not at all.
All right, good for you. All right. Well, I'm glad we covered all the Caleb Plant news that there is to cover all in one shot. Moving forward, Tim Tszyu may need a new opponent. This just in for Australia about 6 days ago, which means it happened yesterday in Australia. Zarafa hospitalized with an injury, and sadly, somewhere Sam Navajero weeps. We weren't updated to this, as Sam normally does with big things like this. He's still not right. Laura Berna said to WA Today, whatever that is, I've spoken to his partner. Is he gay? And he's in a lot of pain. He's been throwing up and everything. He's not right. Does he have AIDS? I start with you, Miguel. Does he have a partner? Does that mean he's got a male partner? And does he have the AIDS?
No on all those fronts, I hope. Well, actually, if his partner's a guy, well, I don't give a fuck, whatever, it's his business. But it's definitely no to the latter. We hope that's what it is. I hope it's just something like a stomach flu or something. I don't know. Shit. I mean, when is the fight supposed to happen? Actually, I don't know when the original fight, what the original date was. But no, let's hope for the fucking sake of everybody that no to the latter part.
Andrew, the pain started behind the ribs and kept getting worse. For me, it's about Mick's health first. I wouldn't be putting Mick in underdone, whatever that means. Is that Australian speak? I won't put Mick in underdone. I was
shocked on was how fast they were ready to pull the plug on the fight. Like the guy, I don't know if it's a serious, maybe the doctors came back with something serious and we don't know. But he got sick like on the first day. He's like, hey, look, if this doesn't change in 24 hours, we're out. It's like, what is the fight next month? What's going on here? And I actually, Lee, can you look up the date? I really don't know when the date of this fight is, but I'm guessing that it wasn't around the corner where, they were ready to pull the plug on day one, it seemed like, on the fight, even though I think the fight is still on, correct?
Yeah, the fight's still technically on. Look, I didn't ever think Zerafa wanted, I could be completely wrong about this, and I'm sure Sam will write an entire full-length explanation to all three of us about this. But my opinion was it was all promotional for Zerafa, right? Like the money, the $1 million offer, the biggest fight in Australian history, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to knock him out. Okay, fight sold. And now he suddenly has AIDS.
Oh, shit. I don't think he has AIDS, Lee.
AIDS. I didn't say the AIDS, the AIDS. They're different. It's like getting the COVID and the microchip. Just thought I'd say that.
Yeah.
All right. I've covered that story enough. George St. Pierre fighting De La Hoya would have been a dream come true. These notes just in from George St. Pierre. I understand that Dana did not want me to fight. However, it's not bad. It's pretty close, actually. However, it would have been funny because my career as a professional fighter to become the best in the world in mixed martial arts is done. I'm turning 40 now. All I do is Avenger movies. I'm going to be 40. It's a young man's game. However, it's actually not bad. I'm really kind of liking my George St. Pierre. However, to rather fight a boxing match under these rules that Triller puts on against the legendary Oscar De La Hoya, for me, it would have been a dream come true because he is my second favorite boxer of all time behind Sugar Ray Leonard. Plus, Sugar Ray Leonard would not fight me for the same kind of money, and I would feel very bad for beating up Sugar Ray Leonard. So it would be good for me because, I've been hit in the head a lot, and I'm from Canada. How'd I do? Come on, you can rate me. This is a new one. I start with you, Miguel. How did I do?
I'll give you a solid 4. That's pretty good.
4?
Yes.
What do you put Bob at if you put that at a 4?
No, Bob is way better. Number one, Bob has no accent. It's just his voice.
By the way, for those of you wondering, there is a trilogy of Aram stories today, and they're all fucking brilliant. We have nothing but Bob's quotes coming up here in a minute. Andrew, are you surprised by this? Dana the cockblocker and George St. Pierre calling him out?
No. Dana doesn't want St. Pierre to make the most money in his life at fucking, 40 years old in a boxing ring. He doesn't want these stories to keep coming up, Lee. This is bad for the UFC. This is bad for, it's not a good look. So keep George St. Pierre away from De La Hoya, where they would probably do big numbers on the pay-per-view because they both have good fan bases, loyal fan bases. St. Pierre's comments, I don't know how much of that you made up and how much of it was true, but yeah, it's all, I would have loved to fight Oscar. Yeah, not if Oscar's actually taking it serious and beating your ass. That's not how fun that would be. But
Randy Roach told me I could beat him.
If it's a staged fight and, you're just going to take some body shots, smile, and dance, well, yeah, shit, who wouldn't want to do that for $1 million? So there's a big difference in the fighting, the plans that they have going into the ring. Yeah, I would love to have a sparring match / dance with Oscar for $1 million too in the boxing ring. Don't get it.
Let's follow up with that story. Dana White, the cockblocker, tears apart Triller, De La Hoya, and they're all full of shit. The man who made the word "that's fucking illegal" a common phrase within the UFC had this to say about all of it. Dana White, the UFC. Okay, that's Kavanaugh's quote. Okay. Dana White would rather hold back those who put the UFC where it is today. And why? I've tried to call and text Dana at least 5 times to make it work for both parties. Not even the courtesy of a return phone call. Okay. Well, here's what Dana had to say. Oh my God, don't even ask me about those idiots. Who gives a shit? Does anybody give a shit? I don't give a shit. By the way, I'm not even making that part up. That's exactly what Dana said. What they think, you think I care what Triller thinks? I don't even take their calls. This idiot calls me every day, texts me every day. Please answer my call. Please talk to me. Why won't you talk to me? Because I don't give a fuck about you, White said. Do your thing. Leave me alone. Go do whatever it is you're doing. Knock yourself out. I could care less. I have no interest in talking to you or any of those idiots. They can do their thing. Do you thing? Do you thing? Really? Stop talking about me. What do you give a shit what I'm doing? Do your thing. What are you doing anyway? I don't even know what you're doing. Wow, this is the most
There's
awesome
a lot of doing going on.
quote. This is an awesome quote. By the way, for those of you who think I'm making this up, this is the actual quote. I don't even know what you're doing. What is this thing you're trying to do? What is this thing you're trying to build? What are you doing? And what do I have to do with it? And what do I have to do with it or my guys? What are you doing? Are you starting an MMA organization? God bless him. There's even more. And then you got Oscar, this fucking idiot again, in the car that night. Come with us and make more money than you've ever made in your entire life. We've heard that before. Chuck Liddell's here tonight. Grab him and ask him if he made more money than he ever made in his whole life when he went with Oscar De La Hoya. But you guys keep asking me about these idiots. You guys know they're a fucking joke, but you keep asking me about them when you know they're a joke. You know this is bullshit, and you know they're full of bullshit. But this is what you want. You want me to do this. I tried not to do it. I can't help myself, but I don't care what they're doing. Fucking go away. Go do whatever you're doing. Stop texting me. Stop calling me. And stop asking the media to ask me things. Beat it. Get lost. I start with you, Miguel. Is this not Dana getting poked too many times in a press conference?
Yes. I mean, if you notice, he clearly didn't even address the fucking question in regards to that. At no point did he say, yes, they're lying, yes, I'm cock blocking, or no, of course not. None of that. He completely goes around it, and instead of coming down with actual facts or some things for us to go off of, he totally sideswipes it as like, well, fuck those guys. What are they even doing? They should do their own thing. They're kind of trying to, bro, but you're kind of cock blocking right now, so what the hell? When we hear in these quotes, we don't know who the fuck to believe. I actually heard this come out of his mouth during the post-fight press conference, so I know he said this dumb shit. But again, he completely avoids the actual. I wish one of these journalists would just be like, Dana, yes or no? I don't need no f-bombs. Are you not blocking this fucking fight from happening? Yes or no? It's a simple yes or no question or answer. Give it to me, bro. That's it.
Well, since the last person who tried to stand up to him got banned from the boxing room for asking real questions, I don't think that's going to happen. Andrew, are you surprised by Dana White?
No, and I agree. Outstanding, Miguel, picking that up. It's not the first thing, but I picked up on that too. I'm like, all right, there's a lot of jibber jabber going on here. Where the fuck is the answer to? No, I don't own the rights to St. Pierre. He could go make $10 million if he wants. Where was that answer? So I have to believe that he is cock blocking St. Pierre, and it's fucking pathetic. It's pathetic. It's sad that the MMA world isn't more mad at the UFC for doing this. The fighters that gave their fucking lives in that fucking cockpit of a fucking ring, all right? These guys were called animals when they first started. They were human cockfighting is what they call. They laid it all on the line for this man. Now they're asking to make some money on the back end, and they're blocking them? That's sick. That's fucking sick, and people should be a little bit more upset that a company's out there doing that to these men. And I have Silva being one of them, too. They stopped Silva from making millions of dollars with Roy Jones. That fight would have been fucking huge when those guys first talked about doing it. That company stopped them. He looks like pathetic. The way he talks, he's supposed to be this CEO of a company, and that's how you're talking to the media. He's pathetic. And what he's doing to St. Pierre and Silva and the rest of the MMA guys that they have under contract that they didn't allow to make money in the boxing world is sick. And the boxing world should be a little bit more pissed off that they're getting away with shit like that.
Bam, 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 bam. Now drop your catchphrase, Andrew.
What's that?
Don't get it twisted.
I didn't.
I'm getting T-shirts made. Don't get it twisted.
Yes. That's the next Fight Net
That's
Radio
the
T-shirt.
next Fight Net Radio. Sure.
Don't get it twisted.
Photos of Anderson Silva putting in work for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. class. The 187-year-old man, Anderson Silva, MMA legend, posted some photos of him looking tired and old, hitting things, but nothing in real time. Anderson's of the belief that he's got a legitimate shot here. So we'll pick it up right here because we do have a couple more stories regarding Chavez. We'll get them all in right here. Let's just jump right to Chavez's quote, shall we? Which is even funnier. Chavez Jr., I'll knock out Silva, then one more fight, and then I'm ready for a Canelo rematch. God bless his retarded heart. You know what? I used to just joke. And by the way, it's not offensive to people that have mentally handicaps calling Chavez Jr. retarded. It's sad that I'd have to compare people who have mental handicaps to a retard like Chavez. Did that make sense? He's fucking out of his mind, Andrew. He's fucking out of his mind.
When you look at him in the past, Lee, me and you followed him a long time. The dancing, the music, the clothes. This guy has always been in an environment of doing hallucinogenics, right? Is that acid, shrooms, ecstasy? All of these drugs are in the I think the surrounding area. Remember when Chavez's birthday, he was in outer fucking space? Remember his Instagram, Lee? He had that. All right, so you got to be on this type of drugs to be calling out Canelo on a rematch, and I clearly think it is not a mental illness Chavez has. I think he is high as fuck when he makes something.
Bam, 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 bam. All right, drop your tag phrase right there, Andrew.
Don't get it twisted, Lee.
Miguel, do you back up this story that he is high as fuck, or do you back my story up that he is so mentally damaged, either between his childhood trauma over watching his father fuck everyone but his mother?
Damn.
Yeah, I said it. I said it, and I'm not taking it back. In fact, I'll sign the fight with Chavez Jr. I like my chances. What about you, Miguel?
Hey, why don't we poke the bear? Miguel, I'll let you answer right now. Sorry, bro, but why don't we poke the bear a little more and get Triller to intercept Anderson Silva? Why haven't we done that? Lee?
Don't know. Why not?
Dude, Anderson Silva makes so much money fighting under Triller versus De La Hoya. I don't understand what he's even doing over there with the Chavez family. That thing is such a fucking circus act, and I love Chavez Sr., you know that, Lee. That's my guy that got me into this sport, blah, blah, blah. But what? Legends? Or what is it? Like Kings? And do they really have Camacho?
It's the rematch of the rematch to beat up the son of the rematch match.
Do they have Camacho Jr. in the same outfit that his father wore when he walked in?
They must. Come on. They've got to. They've got to. This is supposed to be an exhibition. It all went suddenly so wrong for oh my God! If he dies in the ring at the hands of Chavez, oh my God!
Anderson Silva needs to take this one moment. He really needs to think about what's a better spot for him: Triller pay-per-view in America or pay-per-view in Mexico. I think it's pay-per-view in Mexico. I really don't know
Mexico. I'm sure it's here. I'm sure we'll watch it illegally. By the way, go to BPFrontRow.net. Yeah, go ahead.
I said, is it DAZN or pay-per-view? What is it in America? Does anyone know on that one?
Oh, damn. I have no idea.
Hold on. I will. It is. Hold on. I'm looking it up right now. Independent pay-per-view. Check your local listings from Jalisco Stadium in Guadalajara, Mexico. It's Bring Your Own Gun Night. Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, you want me to go with a different joke? All right, hold on. I'll go with a different joke. It's at a Jalisco Stadium in Guadalajara, Mexico. It's Bring Your Favorite Drug Dealer Night. No? All right, let me try again. Jalisco Stadium in Guadalajara, Mexico. It's Bring Your Favorite Cartel Member. Any of those words? No? Moving forward.
Do you think they have the gun for ticket exchange at the front door?
It's a hallucinogenic for ticket. That's what it is. It's kind of like, you bring those cans and you get like a free ticket to a game. It's like you bring your favorite hallucinogenic drug and donate it, and you get your free ticket.
This was supposed to be an exhibition.
Chavez Jr.'s at the door. Like, hey, aren't you fighting?
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So, little fact. All right. Here's a really crazy, which made me think of this right now. Little known fact about what I enjoy, and that I've dragged my daughter into this. I love going to cheap family circuses. And I'll tell you why I like going to cheap family circuses. It's the fact that the show itself is based on, much like all the kids of Chavez Sr., trying to do something in the show badly, but then they all rush out and have to serve you cotton candy and soft drinks at the intermission. So the minute you said that, Andrew, that is immediately what I flashed on. Like a cheap little tent at the back of Jalisco Stadium where Chavez Jr. is going to stand out there and sign autographs in between fights.
Yes, sir.
And probably try to pick up chicks, knowing him. Probably. I'm just going to go out on a limb. All right. You guys have all waited patiently for this moment. Bob Arum. Hold on. Bob Arum joins us on the show for a trilogy of stories. Bob Arum, the pandemic is over. Put away your goddamn mask and let's live a normal life. Bob Arum was interviewed and said, "Look, don't get me started."
That's the beginning of the fucking article. I mean, the beginning of his paragraph.
The White House announced today that they're having meetings at the White House. No goddamn social distancing. No mask. Take off your goddamn masks out there. Anybody who hasn't gotten vaccinated and gets COVID, it's on them. The pandemic is over. Over, I tell you. It's goddamn over.
I'm waving the flag.
As of the end of this fight, the pandemic is over. Put away your goddamn masks and let's live a normal life. Oh my God. There's more. God bless. Can you believe that in this country there's a ban, a travel ban for our cousins from Britain or our cousins in the EU, whatever that spells? They can't come here. Absolute travel ban. And tell you, that's why that's important. And a Rusky, he's not under a travel ban. Moscow, they don't care about COVID. They don't wear masks. They can come in. A Bulgarian can come in. A Brit or a Scottish guy can't come in. What the fuck? That's preposterous. Biden, wake the fuck up. I mean, this is important. The town relies on tourism. And how do you people in the UK for France or Germany? I mean, it's preposterous. God bless you, Keith Eidick. God bless you, Keith Eidick, for writing that story. That is literally, I could write crazier shit for Bob if I tried. By the way, anybody surprised that Bob Arum is a crazy white old guy who borders on racism in real life as well as the character that I've created for him? I start with you, Andrew Labouche.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. If anyone noticed this weekend, he took a Mexican American or an American of Mexican descent and totally stripped him of his American rights and put a Mexican flag behind him like if he was born in Mexico. So I don't think he even considers Jose Ramirez to be American. I think he only sees him as a Mexican.
And Miguel Antonio Barragan, the person I turn to when I'm about to do wildly racist shit to check the pulse of my wildly racist shit. Have I been underplaying Bob all along?
No, not at all. At 89 years old, he's lived through a lot of shit, a lot of racist shit. So no, you're right on the mark.
All right. Here's the question for the room: has Bob Arum uttered the N-word?
Hell yeah! Shit.
you know, I'm hoping that he had enough street cred at the time when he did it that he got away with it, and yeah. All
right, how about the word boy?
As far as I can go with that.
How about the word boy? Back in the day.
I hope not, Lee.
He's been alive long enough to actually say the word Negro. Okay, that's how long he's been alive.
Listen, I don't like that an American company was doing that to an American fighter, though. I really don't. I think Jose Ramirez's family. Listen, if anyone seen the Ramirez story before the fight, and I'm not jumping to the fight, I'm talking about this subject right here. Oh, his mother is everything that made this country, right? She came here looking to better her life for her children, for herself. She gets here, she works hard, she raises her son, and her son is now a millionaire, you guys. He's a millionaire. Like, he made it. He is the American. He's not the American dream. Put a Mexican flag behind him. Put the flag. That's bullshit, man. That is bullshit. You don't see them doing to African Americans. You don't see them going, oh, no, Floyd, man, don't put an American flag behind Floyd. Put the African flag behind
Listen,
Floyd.
It was a mistake. Wilfredo Ramirez is from Mexico. I got him confused.
Hey, I'm just saying, I listen, it's not right. I don't think it's right how they sold that fight. No, but everyone that comes here, Lee.
Like, I've been talking about this particular subject of guys like Bob. All of these guys sell fights based on racism. That's what I think is so funny and ironic about boxing. Boxing is the only sport that we literally seem to be okay with. It's sold on straight up racism.
Yeah. No, I everyone that comes here with a working visa, they're coming here most of the time with hopefully a dream. I'm not even saying hopefully. Most of the time it is with a dream. Lee, they come here to work to stay. They don't come here to work to go back to Mexico and I'll see you next year. We know that one of the biggest loopholes in America is overstaying a work visa. So these people, and I don't knock them at all. They're coming here, they're getting in, they're working for it. No, man, you don't take that away from them. We know nothing about Jose Ramirez's family in Fresno, California. This guy doesn't even, I can see Andy Ruiz. I'll give Andy Ruiz, right? He lived, what did you tell me, Lee? He lived right over the
He lives on the border. He does.
Yard?
Oh, my God, he lives in a shithole of a city in San Diego County.
Yeah, Jose Ramirez is from Fresno, California, man.
It's a shithole, too.
But it's further from the border.
Oh, way further from the border and way less of a shithole than where Andy Ruiz came from, by far.
I find that I just didn't like that. I felt sorry for Ramirez and really anyone in his family that came here to be American. I felt sorry for them, too, because they kind of threw it in their face that they're not American by putting that flag back in behind them.
All right, so I'm turning now to our sensitivity expert, Miguel Antonio Barragan. Rapid fire. Has he used the word boy?
Oh, hell yeah! You better believe he has. I worked with a black woman from the South who is old, and at the time, her fucking birth certificate straight up says colored on it. Aram is older than this woman. Aram is older than this woman. You best believe he's used that word.
All right. Here's the tough one. Okay. Because he is so deep with Mexico and he is so deep with Puerto Rico. Has he used the W word for Latin American?
Hell yeah, son. You better believe it. Dude, I wouldn't doubt that one bit. Oh, man. It's never been quoted. I'm sure he's never had that recorded, but you best believe it. Oh, heck yeah. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he used it for Ramirez. I mean, even his freaking, his Reyes gloves that he was wearing has like the specific Mexican design on them and everything like that, right, with the flag. It's like, dude, I was like, we're going to forget about everything else. Just put the flag on this kid and send him out there.
Oh, my God. Rare form. Let's have some more Aram, shall we? Aram on Fury Wilder 3. We're finishing the paperwork for July 24th, hopefully done today. Bob Aram was quoted about the fight saying, "We're finished with the fucking paperwork, just like I said on this show. July 24th is the working date. Hopefully we can get it done right there. All the terms are spelled out. Fury's just a pussy. So once he gets his goddamn name on the contract, that boy can get knocked out just fine." It's a 2-page document. He didn't even write up a real There was very little work to do, almost nothing. It's a 2-page document.
Front and back.
And here's Andrew's answer. It will be at Raiders Stadium. And they're looking at $16.9 million in revenue for the fight alone. It's a real gut punch, said Aram. Said Aram. But luckily, I'm a little sophisticated, like a sledgehammer. So I know if you have a case where you have 100% sure winning and you don't get the win, it can happen. I mean, the decision I think is incomprehensible. But again, we lost, and therefore we got to make do. Fuck that guy. I'll just have Tyson Fury knock him out. Andrew, you got your dream come true on a 2-page document.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not a dream come true. Lee, this has been in the works since the rematch took place if there was a third fight, it was going to happen at the Raiders Stadium. The Raiders Stadium is a blessing to the boxing world because, and the UFC too, the UFC, their fans show up, not the same in ticket prices, but they show up. So a 72,000 seat venue, huge for both sports, huge for Vegas. The only thing I think Vegas, I don't know if the casino's mad about is losing that live gate money, but everything else is just a positive. Really, it saves Mark Davis if he can somehow get a lot of these boxing matches to start showing up at his stadium. I don't know if they can pull that off, if they can, what does the promoter actually have to get in that stadium to make money, a profit back? That's what I don't know. Mark Davis has to work something out to get some smaller fights. Not every month can you have Fury versus Wilder. So he's got to find a way to make it where all the promoters can use his stadium and benefit off everyone.
All right. I'm going to switch the question up for you, Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ready?
Right.
Will this finally shut the fucking Bombsy squad up once he gets beat a second time?
Damn.
Or will they find a way to go, he didn't have enough time to get ready for the fight?
As much as I want to say it would, I do not think it will. I'm almost positive they're going to try to pull some motherfucking excuse out about his glove or his shoe or the ring or some other, costume or something. And something else will come up. I can damn near guarantee something else is going to come up. So I guess bottom line is no. You best believe that the fucking Bombsy squad is not going to shut the shit up after he gets smoked by Fury.
I will go out on a limb and say that most people like being attached to something that's hot. Deontay Wilder was getting hot when he first fought Tyson Fury. The first fight made him huge, right? A lot of the PBC fan base thought he won that fight, thought that Jack Reese ripped him off on that count. The rematch, not hot at all. Comes in, it's Black History Month. He's got the music playing. He's got the costume. And then it just all falls apart for him. He gets smoked in the ring, starts making stupid, lame excuses like – Deontay he lost it. And I think he lost a lot of his fan base when he did that. Now, there's some still there, but it's nowhere near the same momentum that he had after that first fight with Fury. So what's going to happen in this trilogy fight, and I don't know how much they're going to put into promoting because the fight literally is weeks away, it seems like already. What character is Deontay Wilder? Is he going to be the Bronze Bomber? Is he going to be possessed? Is he going to be talking in a third person? Because if he does all of that and his what's left, limited fan base of what's left buys in, and then on fight night he gets smoked again, it's over for him. That's it. They're done. No, you're not hot anymore. Now you just look like you're a WWE character. You got the voice, you got the character, but there's nothing else behind it. You're getting beat up every time you get in the ring. So there's a lot. He has a lot going on this fight. This could be the end of Deontay. I agree with Miguel. He loses this fight, he goes back to $1 million if Al Heyman will even give him $1 million. But his momentum is done. He loses a third time to Tyson Fury.
And to finish out our Aram trilogy of awesome quotes, Aram smells upset. I give Usyk a hell of a chance to beat Joshua. By the way, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Bob, he gives everybody fighting everybody a hell of a chance. But let's see what he says this time. Maybe it's got a different spin. I think Joshua has his hands full with Usyk. I give that fucking white guy a hell of a chance to beat the black dude in that fight. Hopefully Tyson comes through and we can do a unification bout. I would love to see Mike Tyson versus Anthony Joshua for a unified title. That's it? That's all you got, Bob? Yeah! You meant Tyson Fury, right? Whatever! Cool. They're just different colors. I'm going in that direction. To back up your point of view, Andrew, the enigmatic, what did they call Jeff Hardy? The charismatic...
Enigma?
The charismatic enigma known as Alexander Usyk, the man who cleaned up the cruiserweight division and actually gave it purpose, now on his attempt to clean up the heavyweight division. By the way, can we all say this? If this guy actually becomes the unified heavyweight champion, he might be the greatest boxer in history, which is the craziest sentence I can utter about Alexander Usyk. But you're talking about two-division unified champion. You have to do it, right?
In the 4-belt era, we could also say the European fighters would be taking over the boxing world, right? Because you would have Lomachenko, you would have Josh Taylor, Fury, and Usyk twice. Is that correct? Did Tyson win all 4?
Tyson Mike. Wait, who are you talking about?
Mike Tyson.
Tyson Fury, when he fought Klitschko, did he win all of them?
No, he didn't have the WBC at the time because Wilder had it still.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then not him, but you get where I'm going with that. They'll have a lot of fighters getting those 4 belts. Where in America, who do we have so far? We had Terrence Crawford. And
does Teofimo count? Says he took him from Loma? I don't know.
Yeah, of course. He's American.
All right.
Is he?
I
guess
think
he's
he
American.
didn't unify
Bob,
himself.
I think Teofimo Lopez is American. No, he's from fucking Mexico. God damn it. Last name is Lopez.
Is it? Yeah, whatever. I'm not yours. Whatever. I guess Jose Ramirez, when he went to high school, he met no one else but people from Mexico. He hung around with nobody else. He had no white friends, no Americans, no nothing.
That is correct. All right, let's take us to our midway big story of the week. Manny Pacquiao to fight Errol Spence August 21st in Las Vegas. The PBC has pulled the trigger on taking Manny Pacquiao out of the Terrence Crawford sweepstake, and they stuck him into the Errol Spence sweepstake. Let's look at the betting line right now, shall we? I'll start with you, Andrew. Were you surprised by the story?
Say that one more time.
Were you surprised by the story?
What story, Lee? I missed that.
What? Pacquiao versus Spence.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, I was very surprised. I did not think Bob Arum was going to get outbidded on that fight. I thought, him and Crawford look real desperate right now. I thought Bob was going to be able to land that with the history that he has with Pacquiao. I thought they'd be able to come to an agreement. So yes, I was kind of surprised that Spence won that over Crawford.
Well, they haven't posted odds for it, so I turn to you, Miguel Antonio Barragan. Pacquiao versus Spence live on pay-per-view.
I can't say I'm too surprised. I mean, considering that Pacquiao, one of the recent fights were with, PBC dudes like Broner and Thurman. I can't say, I kind of was expecting, I'm not necessarily this fight, but another PBC opponent to get a Pacquiao fight. I was pretty sure that it was not going to be Spencer. Fucking Crawford. So it wasn't going to be Crawford. It just seemed like everything fell apart with Crawford and Pacquiao so quickly, and then immediately with Pacquiao and Spence. So that did seem a little sus. But no, the fact that we got ourselves Pacquiao with another PBC fighter, with kind of like his last couple of opponents, no, I'm not surprised at all.
All right. So here's the question. Go ahead, Andrew.
I think this proves that they got it wrong with Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is not a marketable fighter. See, Miguel, when I said outbidded, that I was talking money.
Yeah.
Top Rank is richer than PBC.
Yeah.
Top Rank's been putting around these mega fights. They know how to make millions of dollars. They know how to offer somebody $25 million and make that $25 million for them. You get what I'm saying? Like, I didn't think Bob was going to lose that side of this fight. But you know what it comes down to is you can't offer something that you can't make. And Terrence Crawford can't make that money for Top Rank for them to offer it to Manny, so they lost the fight. Terrence Crawford's time with Top Rank is probably very limited right now.
he's going to move on from this company because there's nothing there. They thought they had a star, and they actually did. Politics have held him out of being the face of boxing. The PBC, that little sissy ass move these PBC guys did of all staying behind the promoter's dress and allowing him to dictate their careers. One, none of them are legends. I'm going to say that one more time. None of those PBC guys are going to be legends. My son will never talk about anybody from the PBC because there's no classic fights. There's no classic moment. What is their fucking what was that story on HBO? What was the Legendary Nights? What is their Legendary Nights? With Sean Porter and Spence? A fight that did nothing at the live gate, did nothing on pay-per-view, didn't have a ripple in the world at all? That's the one we're supposed to remember? What, Spence versus Garcia? Danny or Mikey? Both of them don't do shit. These fights won't be remembered. So while these guys made money, they're not legends. They're not Hearns. They're not Leonard. They're not the Four Kings. They're not Mike Tyson. They're not Roy Jones. None of them. So I'm glad they made their money. Terrence Crawford got held out on politics, but this plays big. That Top Rank, they have no money left for Terrence Crawford, and I just don't see this Josh Taylor thing that they're trying to make out of nowhere. After that, where do you go? Where do you really go? There's nothing there for Terrence Crawford. He needs to move and become a PBC fucking bitch boy.
Wow. Miguel, do you have a follow-up to that blistering statement?
No. I mean,
oh wait, hold on. Bam, 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 bam. Now drop it, Andrew. Drop it.
No, it's don't get me twistedly, but it's the absolute truth, man. This guy, he needs to, with his tail between his legs, walk into the PBC and kiss Al Heyman's hand for him to get a fucking fight with them cowards that stay behind him.
There you go. Now, Miguel. Now we got it right.
I mean, I totally forgot what the question was. What was the question?
Do you think somebody's going to win? What do you think about it? I mean, do you think that Pacquiao's going to win?
No, I don't. I mean, it's just I think Spence has got this. We're talking about natural welterweight. We're talking about youth. We're talking about ability. No, I mean maybe we're wrong, and maybe we're looking at Spence. I mean, let's keep in mind Thurman was no Spence. Let's be real here. So no, I absolutely don't think that Pacquiao's going to win. It'll be close. It'll be competitive. Because I mean Spence even kind of took his time when he fought Garcia, for fuck's sake, and he probably could have mopped the floor with Garcia, with Mikey. I mean, and he didn't. So, I suspect that Spence is going to take this fight with, very seriously and be very cautious, so it's not like he's going to come out and totally mop the floor with Manny. But is Pacquiao going to win? No, absolutely not. Spence has got this one.
All right, I'm making my early prediction right now, and I'm not backing off of it. Manny Pacquiao beats Errol Spence.
Oh.
And I'm going to give you my logic. He has done nothing since the car accident to prove to me that he isn't still fucked up. Not a goddamn thing.
Go with that. The only thing they have on their side, Lee, is the 2 years. Does anyone realize that he fought Keith Thurman 2 years ago?
Is that really how long ago it was?
Yeah. July 19, right? July 2019?
2019, you guys. And we're over here. Does anyone realize that Manny Pacquiao was old on that night? He was old on that night. He was a legend on that night. Now, 2 years later, you finally fucking decide to fight. Oh, whatever. You know what? Manny, he got a paycheck. He's getting paid. He would have done it with Crawford, too. Listen, he fights Crawford. Crawford's a favorite in that fight also. We all know what it is. It's a payout on your way out. Because at this age, 2 years out of the ring in your 40s, nah, man. Nah, he ain't bringing that back.
Manny Pacquiao. Picking Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao.
Hey, Lee, I like your angle. I agree. Since the accident, shaky. I'll give you that. But his age, his hand speed, his size, he should be able to outbox Manny Pacquiao at 40.
Don't get it
twisted. I didn't say Manny at 20, 30, even 35. I'm saying Manny at 42 and 2 years out of the ring. Spence should be able to decision that fight.
And by the way, for those wondering, his follow-up fight after that fight will be with Oscar De La Hoya for the rematch. Final series of stories. This time we turn to a long forgotten friend. Hey!
Oh, Clarissa, we'll never forget you.
The best line ever from Clarissa. Everybody wants the knockout. Everybody wants the stoppage. But for me, I really want the experience. I just want to get in there and get out of there as quick as possible. I'm fine with that. But if I got to go 15 minutes, then I got to go 15 minutes with Brittany Elkin. I'm fine with that. I saw an interview where Brittany said she was going to make me a 15-second highlight reel. Like she want to go there and knock me out in 15 seconds. And I say, bitch, in your dreams, in your wildest fucking dreams, bitch, you got a flat ass too. Well, I just wanted to do that part, so I might as well send it around the horn once. Miguel, can Clarissa Shields be knocked out in 15 seconds by an MMA chick?
No, she. I mean, well, definitely not this MMA chick. That's for damn sure. I mean, maybe some other one. But yes, but not exactly, or Nunes or something, but definitely not this girl. Now, this is no knock on Elkin. She's a very, very, very good grappler. She has sound fundamentals on the ground, and if she, when I'm sure she misunderstood this, when it comes to Elkin talking about making Clarissa a 15-second highlight reel, it's, make no mistake, it's going to be a 15-second submission. That's what it is. Now, whether or not that'll happen is another story. But my point is, that's what she was referring to. It's on the ground. She has extensive ground grappling, and she is pretty good. She's, participated in tournaments and even like high caliber grappling matches. So if she can get Clarissa on the ground, something, that's another story, of course, which is absolutely possible. But I mean, I don't know, the knockout, no, absolutely not. Come on now, she's been hit by fucking dudes, I'm sure.
Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, you guys hit it on the head. It's the submission. I ain't talking about it. Ain't no one standing up toe to toe with the boxer. And I'm not knocking MMA fighters. It's everybody. No, if you are anyone but a professional boxer, especially one of Clarissa Shields' status, who's a 4-belt holder herself, 2-time Olympian. I think she won 2 gold medals, not just one. You're going to get your ass knocked out. You don't stand up toe to toe with those people, any of them. So no, it's not standing up toe to toe. It's taking her down and submitting. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Clarissa needs to understand that's what sport she's in. Like, her ankle could get twisted and she's going to have to quit. That's what sport she's in right now. So it's not about knockouts. It's not about getting cut and lasting through the rounds. You literally can get your fucking arm bent and you're going to quit.
Or choked out. Like, there's no holding on to a choke. You're going to go unconscious if you don't tap.
That's what she's in right now. So she needs to get it right. Brittany's
hot. I like her. She does have a flat ass, so I back you up on that, Clarissa. I do. I think you're right. She has a flat ass. I look forward to June 10th. Hopefully we can either see a tip from either one of the girls. Moving forward, Fury to Wilder. I just signed the goddamn contract, bitch. You're getting knocked out. Well, the 2-page contract made it over to the Gypsy King. Gypsy King filled out the form where it said sign name here. I just signed the Deontay Wilder contract. Right? Doesn't he have that like gruff voice? Bitch, you're getting knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good.
Right? All right. Is he getting knocked the fuck out, or can he make it 12 rounds, Andrew?
He's gonna lose it on. No, he's gonna get probably. No, you don't go 12 after getting annihilated the way he did. I don't see him coming back from the beatdown Tyson already laid on him. I will say this: wouldn't it be a great movie if Al Heyman and Bob Arum didn't even let Deontay Wilder know that the negotiations were actually going on their way to the third fight? He thought if Deontay thought the whole time he was going to get step aside money, and then all of a sudden they're like, nah, man, they're not going to do it. You actually got to fight him.
All right, Miguel, what do you think? Does he get knocked out, or can he go 12?
No, he's going to get knocked out, and it's going to happen late. And yes, to follow up on what Andrew was saying, it's kind of like if you guys ever done this before, if you guys ever like go on eBay and you like send them an offer, and they accept it, and you're like, oh shit. I was like, it's a little too much that I wanted to. That's pretty much what happened here. He was expecting to get, that step aside money, and then it turned out after like, oh wait, okay, I'm gonna get my ass beat instead. Okay.
What does this remind me of? Hold on, wait. This reminds me of something. A reality star who ran for president, who didn't think he'd win, and then fucking became president and didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Yes. Oh, wait.
It repeats itself.
Sounds oddly familiar, doesn't it?
if we go back on his timeline, I want to say Deontay posted photos of him negotiating step aside money. It was things like, they might be making theirs. I'm getting $20 million for not doing anything. Shit like this, man. Like, he might have really had this thought that I don't even have to get in the ring, and I'm about to make the same paycheck I made getting in the ring, basically, against Tyson Fury.
On. We've got Deontay Wilder with Steven Espinosa's calculator. Please hold. First, the Bombsy squad and the Steven Espinosa money. I'll get $45 million, Andrew.
Yeah, his training photos, they popped up 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
By the way, that makes me feel the most racist on the show when I do Deontay Wilder by far. But he sounds just like that, people, when he does that quiet voice.
Your Bob Arum skits on racism doesn't make you feel racist at all. A little insight on Lee Honish there. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yet I never date white women. Go figure me out. I am the charismatic enigma. Moving forward, Deontay Wilder had this.
Do you think if Jose Ramirez would have said, "Bob, why isn't there an American flag behind me?" What do you think Bob's answer would be?
Because you're not American, for God's sake.
He say like, "Don't talk to me, Jose," not realizing that Jose is his actual name. He just thought it was gonna call him Jose anyway.
Wow. By the way, the fact that I do that kind of joke with Miguel all the time is because I believe that Bob actually says that to fighters. Like, I really, whatever your name is, Chico, Tito, whatever, whatever. I just picture him that way. Like, he gets frustrated and just, what I fucking meant.
So what you're saying is that Bob has delivered. You all look the same. You think Bob has said that in the Top Rank building?
Oh my God! I think not only Bob Arum is the man who put Spike Sullivan right on St. Patrick's Day against either the blackest black man he can find or literally the most Hispanic Mexican he can find on St. Patrick's Day for his Irish fighters. He does it every St. Patrick's Day.
There's nothing like a Mexican and a Puerto Rican fighting. He's literally said that. That's come out of his...
he loves it in New York. That's his favorite fight to make in New York. Loves it. Oh my God. Fucking racist. Such a fucking crazy ass racist, and nobody calls him on this shit, which is hilarious.
Could you imagine Donald Trump 4 months ago saying that?
Well, he did. I'm pretty sure he did.
If Donald Trump,
I love Donald Trump. Why are we talking about such a great president?
There's nothing like a Mexican and a Puerto Rican boxing match. Let me tell all
better than watching two of those Latin guys beat the shit out of each other, as long as they stay on that side of the wall. There you go. Nito Donaire makes his return to the ring this weekend in an attempt to get, let me see if I got this right. He's going for the WBC Bantamweight title against Nordine Ubali, live on Showtime, Dignity Healthcare Park. Yep, that means you guessed it, PBC Central. All right, Andrew. For Mr. Donaire, I would say it's win fight or deliver milk. I start with you, Andrew Labouche. Does he win the title or does he start delivering milk like his brother?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't Donaire have the milk delivery brother?
Nick. No, I pressed something on my damn computer.
I know you did, and we all listened to it. It was kind of fun. Why is it a woman's voice saying, "What time are you coming over, Andrew? What time are you coming over, Andrew?"
Yes.
Go to Miguel. Technical difficulty.
Miguel, does Nonito Donaire win the WBC Bantamweight title, or does he start delivering produce like his brother?
He's going to help deliver produce like his brother. He's going to carry the milk crates by that point. I think he does not win that WBC title. There's no fucking way in hell. Not anymore.
Right.
Not
Do you know anything about Umbubu Babladi at all?
Other than he's WBC champ, no. I mean, I haven't. I saw that and I'm like, wait, Donito's fighting who now? And I was like,
for a title. He's fighting for the WBC title. This is a game changer at this point in his career.
It is. I mean, it's one of his last shots. I mean, I don't know how many more shots is he going to get, really. I mean, we know he's got the.
I feel like we've said this many times.
We might have, yes. When he fought the monster, I think he did. We mentioned that. I suspect he did.
Is Andrew literally wrestling with his?
Yeah, this fucking
GPS. Is it your GPS?
It is the GPS. It's kind of sexy. Send me over the voice.
I turned Alexa on. She won't shut up.
Alexa's a bit of a bitch, and she's now in the other room, so she doesn't. When I'm in the studio, I don't get into arguments with her. All right, Andrew, is this the last chance for San Jose's finest Nonito Donaire?
San Lorenzo.
Whatever.
That's
Alameda County. Does that work better?
Oh, yeah. I know. He's been to so many. I know. Donaire changed his city like every time he fought. I even seen San Francisco.
I'll just go with Alameda County. That covers it pretty well.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Alameda County's second favorite fighter.
You know, you would say, you hope to say yeah, but no. He's hanging around. He's taking all the fights that he can. He's in a position maybe possibly to get a rematch for Inoue if he could get this belt around him. So no, I don't think Nonito's done. Not at all.
He's not going to deliver milk next week after the fight, is what you're saying.
Yeah, no. And isn't this fight under PBC?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Showtime.
Yeah, come on,
PBC.
man. Al Heyman will use you until there's nothing left. So no, he definitely gets another fight.
All right, look for Donaire to win over Ubladi, who you've never heard of. And if you have, feel free to drop us a note. Lomachenko, after watching his fight repeatedly over and over and over and over again with yes men standing around him, he now believes that it was a draw. You know, I've watched my fight a lot of times with yes men watching it with me. I still lost the fight. That's kind of how it works. I don't think watching it and saying it actually means you won the fight. And in this particular case, I don't even think that it was a clear case of, this is a fucking draw. This was, dude, you got beat by Lopez. I mean, we all scored the fight. We all three scored the fight. We all reviewed the fight. We all agree that Teofimo Lopez beat Lomachenko and that it wasn't even close to a draw. So here's my question.
No.
Is Lomachenko smoking the same thing as Chavez Jr.?
No, he's not. Let me take this first, Miguel, because he put words in my mouth that weren't there. I never said this fight was a big win for Teofimo Lopez. Listen, everyone kept saying that last round proved Lopez won, and I agree. When he won that last round, I said, hey, that just gave him the victory in my book, and I gave him on my points, he won. But Lee, why did it take the 11th round or the 12th round for us to decide that he won the fight? So it was a very close fight, and I kept bringing that up the next day that everyone that was real heavy on the Lopez train about the victory is that fight was very close. I had Lopez losing a lot of the back end of those rounds down the stretch there. I think I gave 3 out of 4 to Lomachenko. It really seemed like when the fight actually took place and the two men started exchanging blows, really looked like Lomachenko was having more of an effect than Lopez was. And one thing that I hate about big fights like that, and that fight was big. Lomachenko's a legend. Lopez is a rising star. They fought. It was a great fight. That fight deserved a rematch, an immediate rematch, and Lopez wanted no part of it. I don't like that about that. The way Lopez handled that victory. Lomachenko, it's kind of weird. I wish Lomachenko would just say, I thought I won, instead of coming back and going, no, it was a draw. But I can't really argue. It was a very close fight.
Hold on. This Bob's breaking in on my... Listen, I wanted the Mexican to win it. Thank you, Bob. Miguel,
Well, like I don't like. I mean, I've kind of sort of over the last maybe year or so have gotten away from rewatching or rescoring fights because I find myself scoring it differently like every single time. So I go back and forth. And when I first scored this fight as it happened, I did have Teofimo winning barely. It was definitely a close fight. I do not like the fact that Teofimo and his team are coming at us with this like a matter of principle without for the rematch, talking about how Lomachenko didn't want to give them the rematch or didn't have the rematch clause or whatever the fuck the thing was, and then if he had won, he wouldn't have given them the rematch. I'm talking about Lomachenko, and now Teofimo and his team is saying like, no, he was not going to give us a rematch, so now we're not going to give him a rematch, taking that stance as opposed to being like, no, fuck no, I don't want to give him the rematch because let's be real here, it deserved a rematch. We can't just have a champion like Lomachenko lose his belt on a close decision and not immediately have a fucking rematch. Like that's dumb as shit. So I don't like that stance from Teofimo. They're kind of like standing behind that little excuse, a matter of principle. They don't want to give me the rematch, so I won't give them the rematch. That's bullshit. But the fight was very, very close. From that fight, I've scored it like 2 or 3 other times, and I go back and forth between the draw, Teofimo, and even fucking Loma. It's just like it's bad. So anyway, I do think Teofimo won, and I do think this is the right decision, but it definitely needed an immediate rematch.
Strong. Yeah. Moving forward, Sam Eggington fights off Carlos Molina, wins the WBC silver title. If you're wondering why I did it, isn't Eggington like from Australia? Didn't I get that right? Or he's Birmingham. Never mind. Fuck it. Sorry, I thought it was an Australian story. I don't really give a shit about English guys. Josh Taylor drops Jose Ramirez twice, wins the decision to unify the 140 title, but that wasn't the interesting part of the story. It was an amazing fight. It was a fun fight. It was a watchable fight. What was interesting was if you look at the scorecards, if he doesn't fucking drop him, he's in a lot of trouble. Based on these scorecards, and boy, what a surprise!
Wow,
Tim Cheatham involved. So now's the time to have the discussion. You guys have waited for it all along. Here we go. I'll start with Miguel this time. First of all, quality of the fight, quality of the night, craziness with the scoring. If you want my opinion, go ahead, let her fly.
So this is the kind of fight we want to see. The best of the best, or the best fighting the best. In this case here, I think one of the first or second times that in the 4-belt era we have ourselves an undisputed, unified undisputed champion at 140, and on top of the fact that he's undefeated now with Josh Taylor coming away with the victory. Yes, there were a couple of times that I didn't like. The officiating kind of pissed me off. It was Kenny Bayless, I think the ref was. A few times I felt like it just seemed like he was so indecisive. Like he would break them up, but not break them up, kind of break them up. As a matter of fact, that second knockdown, I kind of got the impression that maybe Ramirez kind of felt or sensed that Kenny was going to come in close to split them up, and then Kenny kind of like stepped away the last second, and Josh Taylor took advantage of that shit and threw that uppercut and dropped him the second time. I just felt like he was kind of in and out, but not really, and I think Ramirez probably had his attention more on fucking Bayless than it should have. But anyway, this scoring is fucking atrocious. Like it's so bad. I was rooting for Ramirez. I did not think he was going to win. I did feel like Taylor was going to pull away with the victory, and ultimately he did get it. But had he not dropped him, if I'm reading this right, it would have been fucking a draw on all these scores. Like, goddamn, what the hell?
On all the scorecards. Is that not the best?
That's horrendous.
No, bullshit. Lee, that's why, Lee, it was so important that I deliver that text message before those scorecards were read. But Miguel, I did not have Josh Taylor winning more rounds than Jose Ramirez. I had him. Look at this young man looked like a deer in headlights in the first 5 rounds of this fight. Jose Ramirez is dictating the fight. He's pressing. He's throwing combos. He's landing a lot. He's landing a lot on Josh Taylor. And I really thought it was the confidence level of Ramirez that got him in trouble in that 5th round. He's just walking in. He's there's nothing stopping him right now. Boom, he gets hit, he gets dropped. But what you see is Ramirez look at his corner, say, hey, I'm fine. He gets up, he collects himself, and I thought he had a hell of a second half of that round. Matter of fact, without the knockdown, it's a very close round. I know right away ESPN's like, oh, it's 10-8, 10-8. ESPN was so, I mean, Lee, you hit it on the head with the marketing. They wanted Josh Taylor so bad to win that fucking fight. Bradley's all over him. I thought Ward wanted to root for Ramirez, but didn't trust his chin after the second knockdown, and Ward really calms his Ramirez pom-poms down after the second part of that fight, because even though Ramirez was in there and was coming back, the chin is just too questionable, and you don't want to say, I think Ramirez is going to do this, and then he gets stopped late. But I'm totally fucking with you on that second knockdown. Listen, it wasn't a fix. Bayless didn't mean to do what he did, but he was refereeing that fight way too far away. He's 3 feet away from these guys. Every time he says break, he gets in. Maybe he's getting in. I touched him. Oh, no, I didn't touch him. What? You can't do that. Yeah. Hey, break. No break. Sorry. Did I say break? My bad. Bayless.
Yeah. Or he's like, work out of it. Like, no, you already said break. What the fuck? One of the two.
Bayless should have called a timeout. He should have. You don't take a point away. Listen, he had already warned Josh Taylor hard about the hitting on the break already. And the replay shows it looks like Bayless is the one that unleashes the left hand of Josh Taylor, and then he counters off of Bayless going break.
Yeah.
It really does look like that in the replay. They need, if Bob Arum actually gave a fuck about Jose Ramirez, and I know,
the Mexican.
But if this was De La Hoya, believe me, Bob Arum would
have another Mexican.
Yeah, no, but that Mexican made way more money, and they didn't have to pretend. He lived right by, he's from
LA. Sometimes he hits singles. Oscar De La Hoya was a single. Now that Felix Strum, that white kid, now that's where the gold is.
No, I would say Oscar's a home run. Ramirez is a single. Ramirez is just not. Whatever. I'm not going to go down that road again.
When you use that analogy, I love it every time. Some fights are a single or a home run.
But I'm totally with you. Listen, I just thought Bayless should have said that one was. I got to give him 5 minutes. This kid could have. You know what it reminded me of, you guys? It really reminded me of Tito Ortiz and Floyd Mayweather. Tito Ortiz, Victor Ortiz.
Yeah.
Victor Ortiz. That punch was legit. When you see Ramirez get up, now he's wobbly. He's not looking at his corner going, hey, I'm fine. I'm cool. That was nothing. No, man, that fucking shot changes the whole fight. It really does. And listen, I still give Ramirez 3 out of the last 4 rounds, you guys. I swear, I was like, what? 3 of the last 4. I still give to Ramirez after getting off the canvas like that. The scorecards. Did you get them, Lee? Do you have the scorecards?
Yeah, they're on the screen, actually.
All 3 judges, don't they all give them 3 of the last 4?
Yeah, they no. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, I mean, slightly different ones, but close.
It's fucking amazing, dude, that he got up off of the canvas with that type of. He was hurt. He looked like he was out on his feet, and you go on to win the majority of the rounds on all 3 scorecards.
Yeah. So, Andrew, Taylor, you don't have Josh winning any of the first 4 or 5 rounds?
Yes. Maybe 3-2, maybe 4-1, but it wasn't. No, it wasn't a total wash. But Ramirez, I have him winning the first part of the fight, and I have him winning the end. So what happens in the middle? That all went to Josh Taylor. He got 2 points in 2 of the rounds. I was so cool with. I text Lee. These are honest scoring. I thought that straight up. I'd never seen anything like that. It either goes one way or the other, and we thought that the scoring would be heavy for Josh Taylor, but it really wasn't. It was, I thought, an honest, called fight. The 2 knockdowns dictate the fight. This fight deserves a rematch, you guys. The fact that they're even thinking of putting Josh Taylor in the ring with Terrence Crawford, let me tell you, Crawford annihilates Josh Taylor in fucking 9 minutes. 9 minutes. You know why? You look like a deer in headlights with the guy named Jose Ramirez from Fresno, California. He ain't nowhere near the caliber of fighter of Terrence fucking Crawford, the best welterweight in the world, maybe the best fighter. And I want to end with the Terrence Crawford tail between the legs because he's bigger than that. Terrence Crawford should do that. Terrence Crawford should leave Bob Arum. He should go over to the PBC and fucking go to Al Heyman and become Floyd Mayweather. Don't become another PBC stable fighter. Don't become a friend. Don't go to the fights and hang out and, oh, look at our fucking necklaces and look at our cars and our fur coats. Fuck all that.
Andrew's had coffee.
Everybody's enemy inside of that fucking stable. Go to Al Heyman, strike your deal with the devil, and then beat every fucking fighter he has there for not fighting you when you were with Top Rank. If I was Terrence Crawford, that is what I'm planning on the second part of my career, but he's got to leave Top Rank. Going back to Josh Taylor will get fucking annihilated. If Josh Taylor tries the same antics that he did with Jose Ramirez, pushing him at the weigh-ins, talking shit, fucking, I'm the king. You pissed Terrence Crawford off. He beats your ass in 9 minutes. You couldn't stop that Mexican from fucking Fresno, California. What you doing with the hand speed of Terrence Crawford? With the size? It's too much. That's a bullshit.
He would not be able to get away with that clinching that he did. Like every single time he threw a punch, he would immediately clinch to stop any sort of rebuttal or a counter punch from Ramirez. Like he's not gonna be able to get away with that shit with Crawford. Hell fucking no.
And then go to Crawford's division, 147. It's a stupid fight. It's a desperate fight by Bob Arum. Josh Taylor needs to be smarter than this. Josh Taylor, if I was him, I'd dominate junior welterweights and wait for Teofimo Lopez. Am I lying?
Hell yeah. There's plenty of 140s, especially at the Top Rank. I mean, even Regis, or he already beat Regis. Never mind.
No, but all of them, Haney, Ryan Garcia, all of these guys are going to gain weight. All of them are coming. You could be the freaking Ricky Hatton of the junior welterweight division, and better, because the resume is getting real thick on the kid. I can't knock the fight, you guys. That was an awesome fight. Although I didn't have Taylor winning the majority of the rounds, I'm not mad about the outcome. He deserved the win, but the fight deserves a rematch. If I was Bob Arum, I would sit down with Bayless and say, just be honest with fucking me. Did you say break? Because he has a mask on, right?
Yeah.
And the video looks like you touch Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor is looking at Bayless. So Josh Taylor, he heard something. That's a big turning point in the fight. If you're Bob Arum, you got at least you can sell the rematch on that incident.
But the Mexican lost. That's what I wanted.
Send them back. Oh, wait, you're from Fresno.
Oh, there you go. There you go, Andrew. Here's my question for you, Miguel. Based text that we got from Sam Navajero, who seems to find great pleasure in Andrew going off on rants. Is this week's rant-ridden show by Andrew a direct result of Sam Navajero?
No, it's Andrew being himself. It's not a direct no response by any stretch.
He is a rock star after all.
Yeah, right.
He writes every single joke in every single story that we do here. He's the one who makes sure that I get stuff in about his wife every week. That's all Andrew.
He sneaks you little cue cards.
Yeah. My God, you should see the stuff he sends over to get me in line for each week. It's crazy. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here thumbing through porn at all, waiting to. That was pointless on my part. So, what did any response to the epic Andrew moment?
Well, I mean, like I had it 7-5, but with the scores, for I had it for what's his name for Taylor, but with the 2 knockdowns, he was even further. So that's one of the reasons why I'm like I'm not on page with this fucking with the close round, or I guess technically this is 6-6, right? But with the 2 points from the 2 knockdowns. Yes, I do. I definitely am very, very proud of Ramirez. The fact that he came back hard that second half of the after the knockdowns. I just don't know how many of those rounds he legitimately won, because some of those rounds were still close, nonetheless. There are a couple of swing rounds that are in between. There's no shame in losing to Taylor. Dude was the number 1 dude, is still the number 1 guy. So definitely no shame in that one. I would indeed love to see a rematch because it was that close. I mean, even going by these scorecards, without these knockdowns, according to these scorecards, we have ourselves a draw. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, in an alternate universe, those knockdowns don't happen and we have the same score. We're going to get a rematch anyway, right? So I would love that prior to, Taylor talking anything about Crawford.
Hold on, I didn't do this for Andrew. Bum, 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 bum. Don't get twisted. Go ahead, Andrew.
I thought Ben Davison's instructions in round 12 was one of the worst. Hey, I'm over Ben Davison. Look, he had Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's bending over, almost gets knocked out. Then he comes to America, annihilates Wilder. He has Billy Joe Sanders. Billy Joe Sanders keeps bending over, gets knocked out. Ben Davison then has a gem in Josh Taylor. Didn't make this guy at all. Only gets him 2 fights ago. Is blessed with whatever skill this guy already possesses. And in the final 3 minutes of the biggest fight of this kid's night, he's done everything right. Just run and hold and don't get hurt and hold on. Don't do anything. Like, dude, if this was not the worst fucking instructions I've ever heard a trainer give to his guy. Did this guy ever watch Trinidad versus De La Hoya? Did he ever watch any close fight that came down to the last fucking 3 minutes? Like, does he know that those scorecards were almost already built for him to lose that fight in the final 3 minutes? And that's what the advice you gave your gem, your guy he's 17-0. He's already got all the belts. He's won the fucking junior welterweight tournament. It's amazing that they have any faith in that Davison dude. It's funny. Nobody talks about the 12th round. De La Hoya outboxed Felix Trinidad in that 12th round. He made Trinidad look stupid, not throwing a punch. Josh Taylor looked scared. He looked nervous. His trainer got him nervous. Don't get hit. Don't get hurt. Hold on. Don't do anything. What the fuck? Like, the guy's out there literally running for his life. There's not a peep of it on social media. I don't know if it just, if Oscar just had that much hate or what, but Oscar did the same fucking thing. And I swear to God, no one ever let him forget about it. We've seen the same thing happen the last 3 rounds. This guy, he went on cruise control, man. He got 2 knockdowns. I give him that. He did not dominate that fight to be doing what he did at the last 3. So I hope Josh Taylor looks at that on film, comes back with a better game plan in the championship. Remember that word, championship round? Can't lose 3 or 4 and say you're the king.
Wow. That was more epic than I thought it would be. Finally, to wrap everything up, we do have a weekend of boxing to talk about. Not anything you guys would care to talk about, but we will. Devin Haney takes on Jorge Linares. Yes, that Jorge Linares. I start with you, Andrew Labouche, Devin Haney, Jorge Linares.
Great fight. I hope Devin Haney graduates. Did I have his name in there for the guys that could go up and face Josh Taylor in a big pay-per-view event? Because he's one of them too. If I'm Taylor, don't move at all. Stay at 140. You rematch Ramirez, fight fucking, I don't know, anybody else, and then wait for these lightweights to gain a few pounds and come up and see you. Great setup. Linares, legend. Been good in his last few fights. I have Haney still winning this fight. I'm hoping by knockout. If it's decision, it is. But I want Devin Haney to make a big presence coming out of Oakland, California, fighting in Vegas now.
Migze Barragan.
Definitely looking forward to this one. Of all the lightweights, Devin Haney up until this point is the least tested. This is it. This is a test, right? This is the one that's going to show whether he's the real deal or not. It's not going to be easy. Even at Jorge Linares' age, it is not going to be easy. If Devin Haney ends up winning this fight, and convincingly, not some super close decision type of deal, like some shit, controversial scorecards or something like that. But if he comes out swinging, He is, after all, the WBC lightweight champion, right? So he's going to put that belt on the line. And if he ends up beating Linares, which he definitely has the ability to do, then he's definitely one of the real deal guys. And I'm looking forward to see what happens after that. But I mean, Linares is no fucking pushover, even at his age. Holy shit, I'm looking forward to this one.
The lightweights, Lee, the lightweights are going to explode here. Hats off to all of the fighters right now that are actually making a dent in this sport, giving us life. Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. These guys are stepping up and trying to become someone. Teofimo Lopez, what is he, 16-0? Josh Taylor, 17-0. These guys hold 4 belts. They're the new front runners of the face of boxing. Where the fuck you guys at, PBC? All you PBC guys are fucking jokes, eh? I'll say 30-0, 40-0, 32 years old. Hey, when am I going to get my shot? Where am I going to get my shot? Go talk to your fucking manager about when you're going to get your shot. Josh Taylor, 17-0, runs his fucking division. Teofimo, 16-0, runs his fucking division. Hats off to both of them.
Bam, 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 bam. Now say it, Andrew.
Don't get it twisted.